Rocky. Good afternoon. It's an honor and a privilege to be speaking here today about one of my favorite topics, team leadership. What I love about working with Rockhurst University National Seminars Group, the concepts and the principles that we talk about will apply universally. Whether you're leading a team in the community, leading a team back at home, or leading a team at work. Now, in the way of personal and professional introduction, personally, I'm married. My wife and I have been married 34 years. 17 apiece. She has 17 and I have 17. That's my attempt at humor this afternoon. And we have 3 little rugrats at home. Not so little anymore. Kelly, Corey, and Casey. Kelly's 13, Corey's 9, Casey's 6. Kelly's that firstborn kid. Everything he touches turns to gold. You just try to get out of his way. He's a good student. He's a real good athlete. Corey is a very, very bright kid, but he's very, very mischievous. His nickname's Kook, and he gets it honestly. We're not sure if he's going to save the world or blow up the world, and it's day to day with this character. And the last boy is a red-haired, blue-eyed Irish Spitfire. If he'd have been the first, he'd have been the last. You have any kids like that? You know any kids like that? His first words, literally, truthfully, were, "Get off me." He had been in every WWF wrestling move known to man. My mom had him for one weekend. She said, "Take him to the church and have him blessed." Exercised. One of his historic stunts is he packed his ears and his nose full of cookie dough. Kind of begs the question why, but fortunately my wife's a nurse and she was able to extract that. Recently, he and his friends were playing in the front yard and they're playing badminton. They had a predicament. The badminton bird was on top of my car and they decided they were going to launch medium-sized rocks up on top of the car to remove the badminton bird. High maintenance. Now, I am from Chicago, so it's fun to be back to the Windy City. I'm a recovering Bear fan in a family full of Green Bay Packer fans. Is that a tough place to be, people? Why? Because we haven't won that much in the last few decades? Now, my son came home from school not too long ago. He said, "Dad, did you hear the Bear family's breaking up?" I thought he meant the McCaskies, the owners, because there was some dissension in the ranks. He said, "Oh, no, Mama Bear and Papa Bear are breaking up. Baby Bear's got to figure out who he wants to live with. He doesn't want to live with Mama Bear because Mama Bear beats him. Doesn't want to live with Papa Bear because Papa Bear beats him. He decides he'll go live with the Chicago Bears. They don't beat anybody." I tried to argue with him, and it was kind of like, okay. Now, in the way of background, educationally, I am a psychologist, PhD, pilot high and deep, right? More of the same. My only true claim to fame educationally is I made it through undergraduate school in 2 terms. Happened to be Reagan's presidential terms, but it was 2 terms. And I run an organization that was founded by my father, who was a psychologist, Institute for Human Potential. And our mission is this: we appreciate the asset. We appreciate the human asset in a sense of increasing its value over time through continuous learning opportunities, as well as recognizing a value to the organization. Now, I'm going to tell a story, and it speaks to becoming a highly effective leader. It's a true story. A guy by the name of Larry Walters. Larry's a middle-class guy, lives outside of LA. He's a truck driver. He comes home every day after work, relaxes in his lawn chair in the back of his yard. Well, he's kind of tired of it. He's in a rut, and he's always been enamored by flight travel, and he's wondering, is there any way that he might be able to design a flying apparatus of some kind where he can just kind of hover around the neighborhood and check everybody out? Well, he goes out with the help of a few buddies. And he buys 40 weather balloons, 5 feet wide, filled with helium, tied to his lawn chair, and he's about ready to launch, and then he's thinking, wait a minute, once I'm up there, how am I going to get back down, right? That whole gravity thing. So he figures he'll just bring his BB gun up with him and blow out a few balloons when he's done horsing around. So with the help of his buds, he launches. 1, 2, 3, launches. He launched up to over 10,000 feet in the air. He is now 2 miles in the air. He is in LA airspace. TWA airliner coming in to land, pilot takes a double take, calls into the tower and says, "You're not going to believe this. We got a guy up here in a lawn chair who appears to be armed." Yes, true story. They shut down LA airport. San Diego Coast Guard drags him out to sea. Now he's going to go talk to the authorities about his thinking process, or lack thereof, I guess. And the reporters were drawn because of the attention. And they ask him some questions. And the answer to the last question applies to being a highly effective team leader. I said, were you scared? Oh, I was petrified. You ever going to do that again? I'm never going to do that again. I said, why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? And he says, well, you know, you just can't sit there. You just can't sit there. The 3 critical ingredients that go into being a highly effective leader. Building a synergistic team that comes together and does something that none can do individually. Vision, communication, relationships.